So on the blanket cue of tuck the pelvis in a plie, why is this not such a great idea? So I'm not sure if the views can be better from the front and the side, but we'll try both. So if I find my true plie stance, so legs a little wider than hips, a little bit of a turnout, right? And I tuck, I have now effectively jammed my pelvis into my legs. And now as I bend my knees, theoretically, my legs should be able to roll into a little external rotation from the hip joint, but they can't because I've already jammed these two joints together. And on top of that now, by being in this tuck, I've also compressed the discs in my lumbar spine because I actually should have a little bit of a low back curve here. And on top of that, now my pelvis might end up being ahead of my ribs. And so my deep core communication that happens naturally as a result of a neutral pelvis is going to be disrupted. My pelvic floor and my diaphragm can't communicate as effectively with each other. So this is why in a plie, you want more of a neutral pelvis. So let's talk about what that feels and looks like with some more specific cues to the plie. So again, if I find my neutral pelvis, which is going to be let's say pubic bone and hip bones in about the same direction, or plane, I should say. And again, a little low back curve present. If you're not sure, kind of tuck and arch and tuck and arch, and then find something in the middle that feels comfortable for you. So that's step one, right? And then step two is if I look at my knees and my feet, and I'll show this from the front too. When I bend my knees and my second toes are roughly in the same line. Again, it's not a perfect science. And so if I'm in my neutral position, I'm nice and upright here through my spine, and I just start to bend my knees, I can think about wrapping my thigh bones out. And as I do that, now all of my joints are going to kind of move relative to each other the way that they're supposed to. And then I can think about pushing the floor away as I stand, which is going to help activate my inner thighs and my glutes. Yeah. So let's talk about a little bit with the knee and the lower leg alignment finally, once you got the pelvis in a good position. So for a lot of us, when we think turn out, we do this cute thing because we don't have great turnout in our hip by wrenching our foot out. And actually, you'll see if I do that, because I have that range of motion. It's not quite normal, by the way, but it's one that a lot of us have. I've actually wrenched from my knee to get there. And if I were to bend my knee, you'll see now this is not so hot. My foot is way behind my knee. So again, if I bend my knees, I'm less worried about how far out my feet are, and I'm more concerned with, can my knee and my second toe be in the same line? So with that, I can think about sitting down. And again, if all I do is just roll my thighs up, but keep my feet fairly connected, that's going to get me pretty good alignment. It's also going to get my hips and my inner thighs turned on. And then I can think about pushing the floor away as I come up. So those are kind of some really gentle, easy, basic cues that you can use to get the most out of your plie, and also to get your joints all to kind of stack roughly where they're supposed to be, which should get all the muscles that you want to turn on with kind of minimal compression in any one joint. And I know this concept's kind of heady, so if you got a question, drop it in the comment section and I'd be happy to answer it. All right, thanks so much for watching.